I'm joined by Professor Jennifer Martin, President of the Royal Australasian College of Physicians. Professor, thanks so much for joining me. How much of a problem is this shortage and what's behind it?
Well, the reasons for the shortage are actually the similar reasons that we have with a lot of other medication shortages. That is that we actually can't manufacture enough for our population. And so what we do is we import from overseas. And in the case of medications, it's over 90% of our medications are actually imported from overseas. We do have a small manufacturing capability here in Australia for the intravenous fluids. But when we actually have increased need, or if the rest of our supply is not able to increase, which is what's happening now, then we have a real shortage. So currently we've got our low manufacturing capability, we've got an international shortage, and we've got the supply chain issues which we've had that are long-standing, that mean that we get essentially what's left because we're at the bottom of the supply chain.
And so how important is saline? What sort of things is it used for?
Yes, saline is very important. It's used in the hospitals for a lot of things. It's absolutely critical for surgery. We use it to improve people's volume, so keep their blood pressure up, ensure that their heart has enough volume to pump and that their kidneys can pump too. Certainly if there's blood loss, we need fluids and blood products for that. But it's also used in physician specialties as well. So we treat people with sepsis. They need fluid for that. We use it to dilute medications in and give antibiotics and things slowly over a period of time. And there's other settings too. For example, for dialysis, we often need renal replacement therapies, which are a different type of saline. But essentially, these are all affected by the same problem.
And so what impact is the shortage having so far? And we are hearing reports that it could lead to surgeries being cancelled, for example. Do you think that's a realistic outcome of this?
Well, yes, it could have a huge potential impact if we didn't change our behaviour. But I think that we've done some really important things. For example, the Therapeutic Goods Administration has used Section 19A of the Therapeutic Goods Act, and they've actually imported fluids from other places around the world that we previously didn't import from. And people might be concerned about that, but they are safe and effective. One of the downsides of that is that they might come in a slightly different container or in a different volume or a different concentration, but we can deal with that. And the states have been very quick to actually examine their procurement processes, look at their inventory, try and get stock of what's actually around the state in different hospitals, public and private. And on the ground, which is where we're working as clinicians, we're ensuring that people actually know how to use these fluids judiciously, to be able to interchange the therapies to save the important ones for example, surgery, and just to really think about how and why we're using the fluids. So I think potentially it could be quite a big problem, but I think we're doing a lot of things to actually mitigate the effects of this.
And do we have any idea of when this shortage will end?
Well, it looks as if it might go on for quite a period of time. So some of those international issues will be with us for a period of time. We haven't got the ability to increase our manufacturing capability here in Australia. So certainly the Therapeutic Goods Administration has told us it will be at least for this year. But as this is an ongoing issue, not just with IV fluids, but other medicines, it is actually time for us to think about long-term solutions for this problem of not being able to have all of the medicines we need or all of the intravenous fluids we need to actually provide that high-quality healthcare.